Welcome back. You're still watching Morning at NTV with me, Sandra Twinobdio. And you do know that this Tech Note segment is sponsored by ITEL. Well, this morning we talk about the movie that is about early marriages and is set to premiere about after cinemas in Kampala were given a green light to resume operations while recently easing the lockdown. The movie that was meant to premiere before the pandemic will finally find its way to the cinema. So this morning to speak to us about this and more, we have ANDREW KAGGWA, an arts journalist, and ATWINE NABUKENYA, who is a media coordinator of this
ULLYWOOD Production.
ULLYWOOD Production. Very interesting. Well, let us take a look at this trailer and we'll get back into the conversation in a bit.
Is there anyone against these two becoming one?
It is reported that the police are after a young man that supposedly grabbed a bride from a private wedding.
We are disrupting our normal programming to bring you live events from Kampala.
The police are on charge for Jeff Soke,
The Makerere University students who has allegedly snatched a bride from a private wedding.
Wow, very interesting trailer. I must say I'm very impressed by ULLYWOOD, right?
Thank
so we
you.
have Nollywood, Hollywood, now ULLYWOOD.
Yes.
Once again, you're watching Morning at NTV. Well, ATWINE, congratulations on the premiere. This
Thank you so
is
much.
the very first movie, I think, to get to the cinemas right after the COVID-19 restrictions were eased. Andrew, what do you think this means for the arts industry?
Well, it's a very interesting thing that we're coming back to work because when they opened up, truth is there was a crisis. When they opened up cinemas, there was a crisis that Hollywood isn't releasing films as much because they are still partly locked down. And then when it comes to Uganda, where many of our cinemas are an extension of Hollywood, if I should say that, cinemas were struggling to get content. And then even the content they had, some people had watched probably on Netflix, maybe Disney Plus. So they were basically struggling to get content. And of course, there was even that fear that if I should be coming back, I shouldn't put a Ugandan film in cinemas because you're not so sure if the audience is back. And many of our filmmakers are trying to make some money off their film, even when the audience is little. But if you do not have an audience for a Hollywood movie, the fear was no one will be coming to see a Ugandan film. So if we have one that's showing, one that's leading the way, I know it's a very big step to normalizing. Probably others will come back with repackaging their old films to show again, or some new Ugandan films will also be brought up to be shown, because there were quite many that were supposed to be released before the lockdown happened.
When someone talks of ULLYWOOD, honestly, as a Ugandan, I'm super excited. And like I said, very big congratulations on such a good move.
Thank you.
We know that the run is about early marriages, and we saw the trailer, and I'm sure Andrew also curious to watch the whole of it. Give us some more details about the run. What inspired it? What is the story behind it?
The run was inspired by the early marriages that are going on, because many youth are taken to marriages when they don't want. So in this movie, the guy, this girl who was a bride, had a boyfriend. The boyfriend was a mechanic. So there's this rich guy who wanted to marry this girl. So he gave the father money and a car and promised so many things. If you give me your daughter, I'm going to give you many, many, many stuff. So the girl was forced to get married to that guy. So the trailer you saw, the girlfriend and the boyfriend and the bride, they planned so that they
elope.
Yes, to steal her away from the party. So I brought the car for my friend. Then he stole the bride.
So you were
yeah, it was a very big
you were the person that stole the bride in this movie.
No, I brought the car for the guy.
Okay. You were the driver of the boyfriend to the bride.
Yes. I brought the car to the guy to steal the bride.
Well, the other beautiful bit to this story is that we see journalists reporting about, you know, it's a breaking story, and that's very interesting.
Exactly, because
how does that come in?
This man, the one who wanted the bride, was very rich.
So he had media influence.
Yes, yes, and everyone and the police. So he had to put everyone to look for this man who stole his bride. Yeah, so that's why.
Very interesting movie. Well, also ATWINE, just to pick your thoughts, we know this movie was supposed to be premiered before the COVID-19 pandemic. What impact do you think it's likely to have? Do you think you're likely to have the same turn-up of people coming to see it?
Of course, yeah, because we have something really new to the industry that we have not seen in a while, because all the movies that I've been seeing in Uganda, we have a different content. And I promise you, people who have watched this trailer, they know what we have. It's very beautiful.
So Andrew, also to just pick your thoughts on the same question that I just posed to her, of what impact do you think the entire COVID-19 is likely to have on the movie industry, and specifically the run that we are having? Do you think we are going to have, she's very optimistic, but do you think, because this movie is happening today, do you think we are going to have a good turn-up?
It all comes down to the groundwork. Like if they did a good groundwork, I believe they will have an audience. Of course, it's so hard to say if it was running for a week, because many Ugandan films don't get a chance to run for a full week at the cinema. If they were running,
and why is that? That is a very good point. Why is it like that?
It is very expensive, and we do not have deliberate policies when it comes to the industry. Like I know you keep hearing about 70% local content. They've not been very deliberate about where that 70% should be. For example, we have many cinemas that at one point will be running a lot of Ugandan movies because UCC is having a festival. Yet, throughout the year, there is no deliberation to actually see these cinemas have local films run. So most of our filmmakers have to pay their own money because cinemas are very private. You have to pay your own money to actually book the days where you want the film, when you want the films in. And I think if they are very affordable, they will tell you to at least pay 10,000 per seat. If you're looking at about 100 or 150 seats, that's about 1.5. So a filmmaker will be thinking about 1.5 for 7 days, or actually not for 7 days, but 1.5, you might be having about 2 screenings. So you're looking at 1.5 times 2 times 7 days, which many of them can't afford because you're not so sure the audience will turn up. If we had a deliberate effort by the regulator who decided to take on film, it would be easier because they would be able to harmonize to probably say, you should at least show a film every 1 week in a month.
A Ugandan film.
A Ugandan film, and maybe we are taking 50% of that.
Yeah, because I also think it is up to us to push our brand as ULLYWOOD if we want it to grow, isn't it?
Yes.
And also just to ATWINE, to pick your thoughts again on how best, you know, we can ensure that ULLYWOOD goes out there. I see most of us always watching Hollywood and Nollywood. How do we ensure that ULLYWOOD is put on the world map as well?
Exactly. Our director, Mr. Jerry Sesanga, has taken this, our movie. We were supposed actually to have the run premiere in the US. Yeah, but it was also affected in the long run of the COVID stuff. But probably next year we shall have it, because he has connections, he has been in touch with many people the other side. So trust me, this is going to be a big thing. And the other side, like how you asked me about how we sure about the people coming, probably the Acacia, the Century Cinemax, they have 4 halls. 4 halls, those are like 200 each hall. So to ensure the social distancing, so we did 100. Yeah, we did 100. So we have specific
So you expect 100 people coming?
No, 400.
You expect 400 people to turn up for the run today?
Yes.
Do we have some tickets to give some of our viewers?
Sure. They're here.
I think this is the time to support our very own content.
Yeah.
So this morning, if you probably want to watch the run at Kesha Mall, the Century Cinema.
At 4.
At 4. So it starts at 4?
Yeah.
4 p.m. Do they have popcorn? Do they have a drink?
Everything, red carpet, you guys have to look.
So they should come. This is a detail that we should also hear from you. So how are we supposed to turn up for the movie? For instance, ANDREW KAGGWA, how should he turn up for the movie this evening?
We have a red carpet experience.
Yes.
And we're expecting very big people from the media, from the music industry, from the film industry. So, and the fact that this movie is targeting most of the youth, and it talks about the early marriages in the youth. So expect to see new faces in the film industry, because this is like my first movie to be in. So they should expect new talent in the film industry, that they've never seen before.
And finally, as we come to the end of this conversation, but before I ask my very final question, Andrew, how would you suggest we give out these 3 tickets this morning? How best should we, because so many people would want to turn up for the movie. How do we make sure that these people get the 3 tickets? How much is a ticket anyway?
VIPs 50, then ordinary 20.
So these are VIP or ordinary?
Ordinary.
Okay, so we have 3 tickets to give out, and Andrew will guide us through how we ensure that 3 of you get to watch the run this evening.
Like you know, when it comes to giving out film
because
tickets,
remember, we want to promote ULLYWOOD, and we also want to ensure that people watch.
You need to usually make it so easy for the people to get the tickets. I think this can be done on social media.
Yes.
If someone can go on the page, the NTV page, and they tell us why the movie is showing. What else? What else? We need a question in there.
How best? Okay. Since we are having a discussion on how to ensure that we give out these tickets, so how best can we promote ULLYWOOD? Because this is our content, and we need to put Uganda on the map in all aspects: sports, entertainment, everything.
True.
So how best can we promote ULLYWOOD? So go to our social media platforms, NTV Uganda on Facebook and NTV Uganda Twitter, and I will personally look out for those people, and I will find a way of letting you guys get these tickets. But the challenge is going to come from these people in the western part, in the north. So please, if you want to attend this movie and you can make it to Kampala by 4 p.m., please, we have a ticket
and to save yourself from curfew.
Yeah. So in fact, what time does it end?
Probably like 6.
Like 6, so that they have enough time to get home.
Yes.
So so if you can start your journey now.
And by 4 you're here, and by 6 you're already on the bus to Mbarara.
Any final remarks on the run? What anything that you feel we've left out on the run that you think people should know?
Nothing. Just expect the best from us, because we've really done our best to get here. And people should support us, come. And another thing, in case you don't come, or in case you come and you want your people home to watch, we'll be having our CDs being sold at the venue. So come with the money. The CDs are 50 and 20.
Oh, we can as well buy a CD to just go take it at home and watch. And maybe something I had forgotten, the run. I don't know, Andrew Kagwa, when you see the run, me the first time I saw the run, I thought it was going to be about sports or something about that.
You know, Ugandans, like we've been used to these kind of movies, like being so straight and having the same contents. Every time you see witchcraft, what, in Ugandan movies. So we thought Ugandans need to see something very new, like the racing, car racing, having something really nice for people to go for, not witchcraft, not villages whereby you see like those things there. So we decided we had another title of The Bride, but we didn't want it to be that straight. So we had to make it The Run, so that someone looks at it and just...
Am I allowed to ask how it ends?
No spoilers.
Am I allowed to ask
You
how
have
it
to
ends?
come. You got your ticket yesterday.
All right, so Andrew, when you see the run, what comes to your mind? When you first saw the run, because I'm sure you saw it before.
Unfortunately, the very first time I saw it was the first time I saw the first cut trailer. So I didn't get a chance to imagine what it was about. But of course, I didn't know it was a teenage film. It was a film about early marriages. The very first thing that came to my mind was maybe this is something like Fast and Furious. Because I saw cars. I saw cars and then I saw the run.
And the sports cars, actually.
Yeah, there were sports cars. Yeah. So like I knew people were going to race a lot. I didn't really grasp the story that much at that time.
There is racing.
But right now I get to know that it's actually about early marriages and
there
the
is
like.
Racing, there is too much running.
Okay, racing, too much running, where is the difference?
Racing, I mean the cars.
Andrew, this is, like we earlier mentioned, this is the very first movie that we're seeing being premiered after the COVID restrictions were eased. For those that probably, like you mentioned, there were others that wanted to premiere other movies, but they were stopped or they were hindered by the COVID-19. How then would you advise them to get started? Do you feel this movie is going to push them also to know that, you know, you can get back to the scene?
Of course, after COVID, I think this is more like a pilot project. One, this will show us if the anger is there, if people actually want to see films. Personally, I've been to cinemas and they've been struggling with Hollywood films, but that could be explained that the films they were showing are already out there, so people did not have a reason to go out there. But I think this will act as a pilot project. It will show other filmmakers what to do, and I would advise filmmakers, even if you do not feel like it's okay to bring out your film now, this is the best time to repackage your old film, because there are very many films that have been premiered in this country but were watched by a handful, and the bigger majority of the Ugandans out there did not get a chance to see them. And I feel like right now is a perfect time for Ugandans to see different content at the cinemas, because Hollywood is not opening up anytime soon. They want to open up when they are sure they are going to be able to make $1 billion or something, which is very impossible right now. If we are lucky that our cinemas are open now, it's our only chance to take them back. We need to put films in those places.
And the government, what role? I know the government has quite a lot of things on its plate at the moment, but this is something that, if well promoted, can bring in revenue.
Not just revenue, even attract tourists. Like most countries are using film and art to actually promote tourism. But that's a very broad question. The one thing I think they can do is formulate policies that are very deliberate. On one, promoting local content, training talent, because other countries I know are inviting Hollywood to make films in their countries, but in the course of doing that, they know Hollywood is going to hire actors, to hire crew people, that even when Hollywood is back with their film, They will leave well-trained actors behind. They will leave well-trained crew members behind.
And they will leave that country on the map because the movie will be showing the country.
Yes, and those people will be empowered to make another film without Hollywood's help. And that's how an industry grows. Like, there are very many policies we must be very deliberate about. The government has to be very deliberate about very many policies. At the moment, we do not have any single policy I can talk about that's working, not just for the film industry, but for the art industry as a whole.
Do you think the government has supported you in making sure this movie comes to light in any way?
Somehow, because they let us do this with the guidelines of COVID, like letting us do the premiere and telling us to ensure the social distancing. So in case they said no, we wouldn't have said anything.
True. And moving forward, how best do you think the government can support Ullywood as well? Because like you mentioned, it's something that can be a tourist attraction as well, and in the end, bringing in revenue.
Yeah. The government, I think, we're lacking a lot in the film industry. We don't have the government support. We don't have enough machines that we're supposed to have. And literally, they're not supporting the industry. So we need the government to intervene in our industry so that we can be at least on a bigger level than any other country, or maybe Nigeria, or maybe elsewhere, so that we can move way further.
This is a movie targeting the young people. Andrew and ATWINE NABUKENYA, how do we ensure young people are excited, you know, about Ullywood to even act in it? For instance, when you're looking for the cast of this movie, was it easy to get people to take part?
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Were people interested?
Yeah, most of people were interested. Like Jerry, the movie director, was contacting many people, because this movie has like more than 100 students, like teenagers, yeah, high school teenagers. So it wasn't easy getting those people in one place like all the time. But we managed, and we thank God that they were all interested. They were all interested, and they gave it a try. Most of them, it was their first time. Yeah, so this movie is going to encourage most of them so that next time, if we decide to do something about the teenagers, about the youth, I'm sure they're going to contact us. Those who have the talent, those who want to try it, they're going to contact us, and we're going to give them a try.
All right, Andrew, finally, how do we get young people to actively participate in the movie industry?
One of the reasons why people were pushing their young ones away from the art industry as general is because it failed to be productive at one point. I think the very best thing, the artists are doing their job. The artists are working their minds off to tell at least good stories. They are using their very small budgets to make those films, because trust me, I've been on a Ugandan set, and the struggle is real. Like, the struggle that side has been around longer than the struggle many Ugandans are talking about. I think we just need to find a way of making it profitable, and making it profitable will come from the people that are saying that they are regulating this industry.
All right. Thank you so much, Andrew Kagwa, an arts journalist, and also ATWINE NABUKENYA, who's the media coordinator of Ullywood. Once again, we remind you that we have 3 tickets to give out. So if you really want to get one for yourself, the movie is premiering today at 4 p.m. Please do comment on our social media platforms, NTV Uganda and NTV on Facebook and NTV Uganda on Twitter. Let us know how best we can promote Ullywood in Uganda, but also we'll also give out one to the one that managed to give us the perfect response to our radio morning at NTV. We'll take a short break and we'll be back.